What is going on, everybody? Noble here with you guys today. In today's video, we've got some Tomb Raider on Stadia in the background, and I just wanted to go ahead and give my final thoughts for right now for what Stadia is and what it could be. I want to go ahead and start off by talking about some of the things that we all know Stadia does, and then give you guys my opinion on some of the good and some of the bad. So with that said, let's go ahead and start off by saying that Stadia is Google's first game streaming service. Now what that means to me is that the tech behind it is pretty cool, but it probably needs work in order for it to be perfect. Now as far as the library goes, obviously the library is lacking with no brand new games. It's no wonder that things are kind of crap right now as far as the library goes. Now of course we can go ahead and play the Stadia on Chrome, and we can play it on our TV. Our phones are coming soon. Right now I think we can only do it on the Pixel, but as far as my Chrome experience goes, I've had a great experience on games that I got to try. Now the majority of them were free. I did go ahead and pick up Guilt and Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and I did have to boot to the home screen twice, once on the Chrome browser and then once on the TV. Now as far as my TV experience, I'm actually playing with it on a Wi-Fi connection, and I'm still getting 4K. It looks wonderful. I found myself playing for hours, and like I said, I only had to boot to the home screen once whenever I was playing the Destiny collection. I think that the setup and trying to connect everything so that you can go ahead and get started is very easy. It only took a couple of minutes, and then you can go ahead and play whatever games either were available to you or the games that you decided to buy. Now I did also play with other controllers. I played with a older Xbox One controller, and it wasn't horrible. I felt like it worked really well, but it did feel slightly worse than the Stadia controller. Of course, the Stadia controller is actually made for this, and it's a wired connection as well as what I was using on the Xbox, but hopefully we'll get a wireless Stadia controller access whenever we're using Chrome in the future. So with all that said, some of my favorite things, I think one of the most satisfying things about Stadia is how a game almost instantaneously pops up either whenever you claim it or whenever you buy it. I think it's really cool, the fact that you press a button on your phone and then the image of that game just pops up either on your TV or on your Chrome browser, and just how easily and quickly that happens is amazing to me. I think that's one of my favorite things about Stadia so far. Now, we also have the ability to go ahead and grab screenshots and record the last 30 seconds, which I think is pretty cool, but we'll talk about some of the cons on that in just a little bit. And also for me in particular, seeing games in 4K on my TV is pretty awesome. I have 4K TVs pretty much everywhere in my house, but unfortunately with all the content that I make, I'm trying to use an Elgato HD60S for the majority of that stuff, and unfortunately it doesn't have 4K pass-through. So even though I do have 4K TVs, I'm actually only seeing the 1080p image. So actually being able to play Stadia on Wi-Fi and still being able to get that 4K is a really, really good thing in my opinion. I also finally got to try out chat, and I was actually surprised how well chat works. Everything sounds good, you can understand everybody really well, and the fact that you can go ahead and just use any pair of headphones right now, as long as they're wired obviously, is actually pretty cool. If you try to use your phone headphones, if you try to use an Xbox headset, PlayStation headset, as long as it's a wired connection, it works just fine. Now again, some of these things do have issues. We obviously don't have Bluetooth capable headsets yet, but we will have that in the future. So with that said, let's talk about some of the cons, and I think it's kind of weird because some of the cons, or actually the majority of the cons that I have, are also part of the pros that I've got. So the first con is obviously the game selection is crap. I don't see myself buying any other games at this point. I'm only going to be claiming whatever free games we get. And the reason for that is because, as you guys already know, the library is kind of crap. I actually already own the majority of the games that are in the library, either on my Xbox or on my PlayStation. So that's kind of crap, but once brand new games actually start coming out to PlayStation and Xbox, I feel like they're going to be coming to the Stadia as well, and that may sway people to go ahead and try those if they don't have a PlayStation or Xbox. Now again, earlier I mentioned the fact that you can capture screenshots or share the last 30 seconds of whatever happened, I think is really cool. One of the cons to that is how do we not have the ability to go ahead and share those things instantly? Try to share them out to Twitter, to your Facebook page, whatever the case may be. Obviously that update is going to be coming sometime soon, but for right now, just not having it off the bat kind of sucks. Another con that I've got is, hypothetically speaking, in the future, Stadia will eventually allow you to go ahead and stream to your YouTube channel, and that's one of the major perks that it was actually announced with. But for right now, it doesn't. So if you do want to stream, you can go ahead and use OBS on Chrome, but for me, I've only got a one-screen setup, so that makes it kind of hard to keep up with chat. Now there are some workarounds that I'm working on. I'm actually ordering some hardware that we'll go ahead and talk about later, but I really like the ability to stream from Stadia to wherever it is that I want. I don't know if that's going to be the case in the future. More than likely it's going to be tied to a YouTube channel, but I also stream to Twitch and over to Mixer, so we'll try to see how that works out in the future. Now, this is a very small thing. I don't think anybody else has an issue with this, but it's just something that I've become used to trying to make content, trying to have a Twitter page and all this other stuff. But the fact that in today's day and age, we can't have a custom profile picture yet, or if we want to change our name, we actually have to contact Google support, I think is a little bit crazy. But again, I'm sure that those will be updated sometime soon. And I think that's pretty much it for my cons for right now. There's a lot of stuff that is missing, but I know that it's going to be coming. Like I said, this is early access, so not everything is working the way it's supposed to. So my final thoughts are that Stadia is a streaming service that is obviously in early access, and if you guys thought that you were getting a full product in November, you either weren't paying attention or you've never been an early adopter of tech. Whenever you are one of the first people to get whatever it is, the tech device that you're trying to get, usually it comes with some glitches, some hitches, things that need to be worked on, and those will be addressed in the future. Now, a whole lot of the cons that I mentioned, or things that aren't here yet, will be addressed in the future. Like I said, in the coming months, hopefully everything will be fixed before the official launch in 2020. But because the Stadia launched at the end of a generation, it's no wonder that the game library is a little bit lame. And whenever the next gen comes and all these brand new games start coming up, I feel like they're going to be releasing at the same time on Xbox, on PlayStation, on Stadia. And so that's going to be a lot better in the future, I think. Now, I think the tech behind Stadia is really cool. And obviously, like I've been saying, is only going to get better. So for $130, I'm really happy with my purchase. Now, the issue that I've got with Stadia is that I've always played on consoles, and that's not going to change anytime soon. I'm still going to have an Xbox Scarlet, I'm going to have a PS5 on the days that they come out, but I'm really excited to see what the future of Stadia holds, and I'll be here to keep you guys up to date with all the most important updates as soon as I get the hardware that I need to actually record Stadia without having any other issues. As you guys know, I also love indie games, so if you guys haven't checked out Guilt, I did a Guilt playthrough. If you guys want to go ahead and check out a few videos of that and then pick it up for yourself, I would appreciate any comments that you guys have on the game. Go ahead and check that out. I'll leave that in the description, as well as there should be a little pop-up on screen right now. And with all that said, I hope you guys have a great day, and don't forget to have fun, guys. We'll see you next time.